his bid for a majority government. Unrest continues across Yemen today. President Ali Abdullah Saleh claims the country is on the brink of a civil war. Saleh had been in negotiations that would see a transition of power take place, but those talks have reportedly broken down. Rafat Ali is with the Civic Coalition of Revolutionary Youth, and he's been involved with the protests in Yemen since their outset. He joins us now by phone from Sana'a. So, as I just mentioned, negotiations on a transition of power from President Saleh seem to have broken down. How much of a setback is this for the opposition?
I think it's a big setback for the opposition, but as far as the youth are concerned, we've been calling very actively that the youth needs to be sitting on that table and dictating as well what they think should happen.
Well, Rafat, President Saleh has said he's not interested in clinging to power and wants dialogue with the opposition. Are protesters still open to a negotiated settlement?
We're not talking about a negotiation on anything except on transitioning out of power. So negotiations are not about making any changes or fixing the situation. It's about how to hand over power.
And so what sort of concessions do you want to see from the government?
From the government, what we are calling for is an immediate departure by handing over the power constitutionally to a transition government that can call for constitution changes as well as call for an election.
All right, so, within the opposition, if he does step down right away, there has to be a unified opposition to take over. How unified are the various groups that have come together to demand change?
I can't speak for the opposition, but I can speak for the youth. We've come a long way in unifying the independent youth voices in the different change squares, and in our coalition now we have about 23 different groups that are in the change square in Sana'a and in the other squares in the different cities. So we're definitely come a long way in unifying our voices, and we know exactly, we have a clear vision of what we want to happen next and how we want this revolution to go.
So you say that there's a clear vision. How do people then feel about the president saying that this growing unrest could actually push the country towards civil war? How much of a concern is that?
That's not a concern on the street at all. This past 2 months has shown that the different sectors of society, everyone from the tribes to the civil society to the military, has unified for this goal of making the change that we want to see.
Rafat, one issue that we've been hearing about is that the U.S. has fears. The Defense Secretary has said that the instability in Yemen will allow al-Qaeda branches there to entrench themselves. Is that a legitimate fear?
We do not believe that's a legitimate fear. We believe that the Yemeni society is able to control security, and we're not a terrorist society, and we don't have any concerns over al-Qaeda. We believe that we can control everything in the country, and with the union that is happening right now between the different factions, this won't happen. We're not concerned about that.
Rafat, I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us. That's Rafat Ali speaking to us from Yemen. All right, more still ahead for you on CBC News Network.